Hello everybody, Isabella from Priorattire, and today we are back to St Audrey's, but a different room. Quite a glorious one as well. It's a bit cold at the moment, but we are here for the Christmas ball, and I have a rather special gown that just screamed Christmas to me, so we're going to have a look at that. It's a gown I've made for the next Victorian Dressmaker book, volume 3, which deals with dinner, ball gowns and evening gowns. So it's a dinner gown. Well, I'm going to get ahead because I'm getting cold here now. I'm having my usual combinations. And I have a bit of a dilemma, which stocking to choose. Both are stripy, so we can either have very, very warm, these ones, or let's have a look at these ones. They don't look too exciting until you put them on. Preferably put it on. And then they're like that. So I'm not sure. I think considering the fact that it's really cold, I'm going to put stripy ones on. Yes. Much better. Well, since you've seen, I think, if you watch my other films, you've seen most of the undergarments for this era. It's sort of middle 80s with the huge bustle. So I made a video on in Brighton on the summer version, and I made an autumn version. No, it's a winter one. So what I'm going to talk here today mostly, it's not really about what I'm wearing, although there was going to be a part of that, but about some other stuff. Now we have two corsets, and my old one on this one. Let's see if I fit in this one. The dress is a little bit big, mostly because I plan to sell it. And so is the corset. Look a little bit. Let's go with my usual one. This will be nice match coloristically, but it will fit me, but it will not fit the gown, if you get my meaning. Whereas this one is a little bit bigger corset, so I can leave it unlaced partially. Just making sure my bum is not showing too much. The colours will clash horribly, but hey. This is Atelier Sylph pattern. You can purchase it on Etsy from Atelier Sylph from France, amongst other patterns. My goodness, naked flesh. And again, I think I used this one, and I did a tutorial in my first book on making this one. So I did a few years back, so it is a little bit big, but that's not a bad thing. Right, I think we're on. Now what I want to focus on today is something that is rather prevalent in the historical or costuming community, which is the myth of perfection. It's that very weird notion that our ancestors could do no wrong and everything in the past was, pretty perfect, as much as it could be for the time being. But the thing is, our ancestors were people as well, and they did do makeshift because it sort of worked. Not everybody had time. And it's the same principle that works for gowns. You see some absolutely immaculate work from the big fashion houses. Well, guess what? They were paid to be immaculate, and they had time to do it. That was their job. Now, majority of dresses at the time were either small, let me find my way, sort of small, great dressmakers are a lot, really a lot, homemade. So just like what we do nowadays, really. And I have my huge vessel here sorted, I think. And if you, actually I need to put it slightly tight. And if you are making stuff for yourself, you may have time to finish everything in an absolutely perfect way and do it without mistakes, or you may not. Mistakes, well, we all make mistakes, no one is exempt from that particular law of nature, but that's how we learn. You recognise your mistake and you improve in the future. If you make a lot of gowns, lots of petticoats, lots of corsets, you will improve in time if you can recognise that they're faulty at some point. Yeah, that's good now. But as a domestic dressmaker, you can be in a hurry to make a gown for a ball, or dinner, as I was with this one. It was a sort of last minute decision because I realised it was Christmassy and I had stuff in stock. And then you may not have time to finish all the inside, so it will be a wearable garment, but not immaculate inside. And sometimes that would be fine, and you would just say, oh, okay, I'll finish it later. Can I do this one somehow? And sometimes you actually did have time and you did finish it, which I plan to do with this one because it's for sale. But in a lot of examples, especially the domestic ones, you see that actually they are not finished. Because, guess what? They worked. No one else saw the inside, so as long as it didn't fall apart, it was fine. And as most makeshift things, it sort of survived for quite a long time actually as well. I'm not sure this will be showing much in the gown. So don't really beat yourself up if your insides are not fantastic, or if you made a mistake and it had to be corrected. Lots of original items you see in museums that do not belong to the big fashionable houses. I'm just strewed with mistakes everywhere. It's just the way of life. And similarly, my outfit for today, I've just finished it an hour ago. I finished it to the point of being wearable. So it has buttons. It doesn't have boning yet because I haven't finished the seams. So inside is an absolute mayhem. All the seams are left raw, which I will finish in time, and I will add a waist stay and I will add bones. But it's wearable for tonight. Funnily enough, there's a lot of original extant garments, even from big houses, that really show the workmanship, because if it didn't show, it was fine. No one was really looking inside your stuff, so if it worked, you were happy. So occasionally you have wear skirts that are not finished to the utmost perfection as you would usually expect. Can I actually use this one somehow? I don't really do jewellery, so it's tricky for me to put stuff on and off. Maybe I did do jewellery. So even to the bigger houses, sometimes fuck up really. I might have to edit it out because I'm not sure I'm allowed to say fuck on YouTube. Well, we'll see. So that's the idea. So, and nowadays, just you guys do you. I mean, just if your body's a little bit wonky, that's fine. You can remedy that next time, or make a new one, or repair this one. The striving for perfection is fantastic. That's what we should should all do. But don't beat yourself up if you do not achieve it every single time. It's just impossible. So drive towards it. That's what stimulates learning and really will up your game. But, you know, be realistic. If it works, it works. If it's not fantastic, it will be better next time. It just, you know, enjoy what you're doing. Do not lose the joy of what we're doing because, you know, you have a wonky seam. Undo it and do it again. Big deal. Right, back to the gown. We're almost there. Got some shoes that actually work with it. Stockings clash a bit. Now the original gown is in the Met, I think. Stones. And irritatingly enough, there was only one photo of it and a short video on YouTube showing a little bit of an inside, but it didn't actually show all the angles. So it was very much guessing how the bustle worked or how the other side worked, because I'm not sure whether the pleated panel you see here, that still has masking tape, was on both sides or one. It looks only on one side and it makes sense from the fashion point of view and the styles, but not necessarily. Might be true. Right, we are in somehow. This project was very much stash busting project, so I just focused on stuff that I could get at home, or in a workshop rather. Where is my little bustle here? It's here. And I didn't buy anything new. It was a challenge, but it worked. Now if I can do my little bustle thingy on, that would be great. Ha! Done it. Now this style is pretty distinctive. The original was done by House Grunpesh. I have to check how to pronounce it. And it's a really, really dramatic gown with a simple colourway. Not a lot of frou-frou, but very sort of graphic in a way, which is the kind of bold elements, geometric elements, were very fashionable in the second part of the 80s towards the directorate fashions. It was simplified, tailoring was necessary, but it was bold visual impact that was pretty much the idea. So you see a lot of bodices, a lot of skirts with arrows, with big, bold geometrical elements, which was a little bit different from the more sort of feminine silhouette earlier on, so not a lot of lace. You still have a lot of florals and lace, but... Right, this one should be here. And the unfinished bodice. Right, let me see if I need to move it a little bit. I might need to move it a little lower. Easily done. I hope. Just stuff it in a corset. There you go. Almost there. Right. So I was quite excited for this project, mostly because of the challenges it offered. Yes, I didn't really know, and there was a lot of guesswork, but the most difficult part was getting the bustle to sit right, to obtain that little pleated fold here, which took me quite a lot of time to figure out, and a lot of work on sort of half-size mock-ups and playing around with fabric. In the end, it turned out to be relatively simple, so my hat's off to Victorians. There you go. For really finding very simple solutions to things that looked elaborate, or rather achieving elaborate things with simple means. Right, so this is obviously not boned yet. And my chemise is threatening to make an appearance. But I think we are more or less in. Yeah, it sort of worked. I thought I'd move a little bit of a bling on front. Oh yeah, this one works. Horses. But this is big. And I think with this dress, go big or go home. I mean, the shelf-like bustle is so iconic. You know, can you put a, what you call it, tea service on it? Probably you can, actually. Not going to try. I think I actually did it. Well, I think my bum is actually big enough. Now the train is quite easy actually to carry. It has a lot of balayeurs that's been stitched on tarlatan. So that would be unstitched and put into the wash. So it's just loosely stitched with big stitches. But because of the shaping, it's actually quite easy to walk with it. So I'm going to go and see if I can have some nice walk before my dinner.